So there's this Claude superpower that I feel like a lot of people don't seem to realize exists. Claude, as well as other AI agents like ChatGPT, support something called MCP. I personally find it one of the most powerful features of Claude or ChatGPT. And yeah, it's just a shame that I feel like a lot of people don't really take advantage of it or utilize it to its maximum potential. And the best thing about it is it's super easy to set up, super easy to use. And once you start using it, you're going to be like, what have I been doing all this time? What is an MCP? AI agents like Claude and ChatGPT are really powerful, right? They can search the web and teach you things. But unfortunately, that is really the sort of limit of them. To make the most of them, this is where MCPs come in. You've got to imagine it as sort of a connector between something like Claude and external services. So those external services could be things like Gmail, Google Drive, or even your bank account if you wanted to. Claude actually has a connectors part in their menu already. So if we go to Claude settings and we go to connectors, we can see all of these sort of connectors that they have here. Now, this is their way of saying MCP basically. They're just making it easier for the average folk to understand. But this is essentially what an MCP is. It's just a connector. It's the glue that connects Claude or ChatGPT. You can use whatever AI agent, and it connects it to your other services that are outside of your AI agent. So we can see here some of the connections that I have. I have GitHub, ClickUp, GoDaddy, Google Calendar, PayPal, Supabase. I also have some other custom ones like Framer, Instant Domain Search, vidIQ, and then I also have some desktop ones, Claude in Chrome, Control Your Mac, and Desktop Commander. These three at the bottom are super powerful. And if you're someone who's using Claude on a Mac, I would highly recommend connecting these up, because what it can basically do is, as the name suggests, it can go into Chrome, it can browse for you, it can control your Mac, it can do stuff on your Mac for you. It's actually quite scary at the same time, because when I've put in a command and I've told it, hey, can you find me something on my Mac, or can you do something on my Mac, and I see it sort of just doing it, I'm like, wow, an AI agent is actually controlling my computer. If we scroll to the top, they also have a browse connectors section where you can find a bunch of other connectors that they have available. There are so many here. And these are the ones that are sort of official partners with Anthropic. But you're not limited to these, by the way. These are just the ones that are sort of on the marketplace, you could say. And they're all free. They're all free to use as long as you're using whatever service you're connecting it to. Yeah, they're all free to use and connect. And this is where MCPs are just so powerful, because now when you've connected something to Claude or ChatGPT, you can now control that thing with Claude or ChatGPT. And you can take it even a step further. If you have multiple connections, you can have it sort of intertwined with as many as you like and have it do things for you. So you can set out a task. I'm just trying to think, what is a task? Maybe something like search for a domain and then buy it, I guess. Or you can do something like maybe search through a Notion document, look through the brand names that I've come up with and check GoDaddy to see if they're available. And if any are available, add them to my cart. You could do something like that. Anyway, those are just things that are sort of the top of my head, but hopefully that gives you an idea of how powerful this can be. So the first example I'm going to show you is with Higgsfield. Higgsfield are also sponsoring this video, but I think this is a perfect example of me showing you what you can do with MCPs and connectors and stuff, and how incredibly powerful it can be. So for those who don't know what Higgsfield is basically a visual image generator, video generator. They have so many different tools basically. They have image, they have video, they have audio, they have the MCP stuff that I just mentioned, and yeah, just a bunch of stuff. Like when you look at their image stuff, it is crazy how many different things you can do here. Same with the video, you can generate videos and stuff. The idea is that this is your one-stop shop to make anything visual for your businesses. What I really like though, is when you look at things like the GPT Image 2 and you look at some of the images here, these are ridiculously good. Like, I look at some of these and I think, if I saw them printed or on a screen or something, used as an ad, like I just wouldn't think they're AI. They're really that good. They do also have videos. So if you want to make videos for your business, UGC style videos and stuff, they can do that too. And then they have the C-Dance 2.0. They have so many different things here. Basically, like I said, it's a one-stop shop for anything and everything you want to create visual with AI. So when we go to their MCP and CLI, we can see the MCP tab here. We've got to click on, and then we can see how to set it up. And it works with so many different things. It works with Claude, Perplexity, OpenClaw, Herms, Nemo Claude. There's so many different ways you can do it. And of course you can have it in the command line as well if you like to. They do also have a skill, but I'm going to be using the MCP. So we're going to copy the custom connector. We're going to open up Claude. We're going to add custom connector, type in Higgsfield MCP. There we go, add. And then we're going to connect. It's just going to log us in. Great, we are now connected. We can see our Higgsfield MCP is here. Now this is where things can get quite interesting, because this is when we can go wild with whatever we want to create. Higgsfield do have a bunch of their own examples here, which I would highly recommend checking out. It's a good way to get some ideas. It's a good way to find some inspiration and just to see what's possible. I'll leave a link to that if you're interested, but yeah, they have so many different examples of things you can do with it. So to start with, I have two images here. I have a logo, which I've put together, and then just some random royalty-free art that I've found. And I'm going to ask Higgsfield to make me a sort of branding guideline, branding sort of book with this. So let's just type in something like content, I don't know actually, let's just say branding guideline, or branding guideline and book cover. It should be a grid of 6 images. Use the attached images as an example. The first image is the style that I like, and the second image is my brand logo. And let's see what we can come up with here. So it's actually going to explore the available models to pick for the best one for combining the style reference and the logo. And now it's asked me to allow the Higgsfield MCP. So I'm going to click always allow. See, this is really good. It's not just doing it and then giving me a result. It's going through why it's choosing the sort of model that it's going to choose for making these images. So we can see it says here, Nano Banana Fresh seems the strongest choice because it handles text and diagrams at high quality with reference image support. Okay, so now actually it looks like it's changed to Nano Banana 2 instead of Nano Banana Flash, which is even better actually, because it just shows that it's gone through its thinking there and found something even better. Okay, cool. It's now come up with 2 examples based off of the images that I put together. Are they exactly what I'm looking for? No, but I feel like this is actually a good way to show what can be put together. This second one especially, I actually really like. I'm not sure about the actual book, the book cover itself, and also it sort of adjusted my logo a little bit, but I do like this sort of silvery effect here. I like the colors that it's gone with, the font that it's chosen. It's put them in a grid as well, a grid of 2 by 3 or 3 by 2 even. And it's actually worked really well. I can even now take it a step further if I like. I can animate it, download, edit, recreate, whatever I want to do. So it's worked. It's worked really, really well. The important thing to note here as well, when you're not happy with the first result, you've got to iterate. You've got to change it. You've got to say what adjustments you want. Rarely ever will it get it right on sort of the first go, unless your prompt is unbelievably detailed. Yeah, I think when you're just trying stuff out, it's good to experiment, good to see what you can come up with, try different iterations, try different examples, try different prompts to get to a result that you're trying to get to. I have rarely ever sort of one-shotted something and been happy, completely happy with the result. I think the best thing about all of this, and the best thing about the sort of design process of making anything visual, is that you can iterate. You can change, you can adjust as you go along. I'm going to get it to do something a bit more complicated now, and I'm going to see if it can do it, because I honestly don't know if it can. So this is my prompt. Go to my website, olio.com, read the first 3 titles of the blog posts on the website, make thumbnails for each. I like a minimal black and white style that's grainy and has texture. Use Higgsfield to generate the images. So let's just see what it does. Let's see what it puts together, because I honestly don't know what result I'm going to get. It'll be quite interesting. It's found the 3 blog posts. We can see the 3 titles, and then it's used Nano Banana Pro to come up with the blog thumbnails. And I just let it figure it out on its own. I've not given it any more prompting, any more sort of context of what the content is about or anything like that. But the first thumbnail, I actually think is pretty smart. It's quite eerie, quite scary, because the title is Claude Dispatch, Control Your Computer from Anywhere. This idea of sort of just a computer in a lone room working by itself, I actually think that's quite smart. Like, considering I haven't given any context there, I think that's quite smart. When it comes to my best travel essentials, it's come up with a thumbnail with some travel essentials on a sort of concrete thing. But what I really like here, and what I think is super impressive, is it has blur. It has blur around the edges. So it's showing depth of field here. And then the products themselves, unless you're looking up close, it surprisingly looks very good. And then the final one is what is Claude AI? And it's just used a sort of floating bubble message thing in the background. I am actually really impressed. That is, to me, something that I've never done before. I've never even tried, and I'm very impressed with the result. The only thing I'd probably change is the aspect ratio of the thumbnails, and I would probably obviously add some color. I was just quickly trying to come up with some black and white examples just to keep it consistent. But this is really, really good. I'm super impressed. And what it's done there is, as I've said, it's used two different things. It's gone to the web to find my website and find those blog titles. And then it's gone into Higgsfield, given it the information based on those titles, come up with the thumbnails, and then given those thumbnails to me. And now I can download them. I could even take this a step further and connect Claude to my blog. So my blog is on WordPress. I connect it to WordPress and I can tell it, hey, can you update the thumbnails of these posts with these 3 images? And it will do it. Another important thing to note with connectors, with MCPs and stuff, is that you can adjust the settings. So when you go into something like Higgsfield MCP, you can adjust what needs approval and what doesn't. So this can of course be very powerful for something like if you're connecting a bank account. Thankfully, something like PayPal, you can't actually do any payments or do any sort of transactions. You can only create invoices and list transactions. I feel like a lot of people are going to be worried about, oh my God, you're connecting your bank account, that's crazy. Or you're connecting your PayPal, that's crazy. But a lot of these MCPs already have their own rules, their own sort of safeguards in place so that you don't let the AI do anything crazy, which is nice because I can now go in and just change whatever I want to change and make sure that it only does those things that I want it to do, or it's going to have to ask me for approval to do. So for example, with PayPal and the limitations that it has, I can ask it something like, show me my PayPal balance. And then this shouldn't work. It's not going to show me my PayPal balance, but it sort of shows me in another way, which I'll show you very briefly, very quickly, just to show you what I mean. So this isn't going to work because technically PayPal hasn't sort of given the MCP, given the connector that functionality. But I did actually find another way to do it, because I can ask it something like, show me the last 5 transactions. And it actually shows me the balances of each of the currencies in my account anyway. So if I ask it to show me the last 5 transactions, it will then pull up the transactions from my PayPal account. So here are my last 5 transactions. And it's showing me the ending balance for each as well. So I have different currencies. I have GBP, I have USD, and it's showing me the transactions. And it's also asking me, well, telling me that I've had 36 transactions in the last 30 days. We're pulling PayPal information here from my PayPal account. But again, we can take this another step further. And what we can do is we can actually tell it something like, if we wanted to, which I'm not going to do right now, but we can tell it something like, send it to a Google Sheet for me and put it into whatever sheet it is and organize the data. So again, we can have all of this completely automated without me having to open up PayPal or open up Google Sheets, Google Drive, whatever it might be. I'm doing everything here in the AI agent through these connectors. Definitely recommend checking out connectors, MCPs, playing around with them, seeing what there is available, connecting it to all of your services and just seeing what you can do, because it's crazy. To me, it's really the best way to give your AI agent superpowers, like absolute superpowers, because there's just so much you can do. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter and subscribe for more.